Sisters of St. Joseph throughout history have been involved with the prison system, from visiting inmates to providing a place to stay for those recently released, to being arrested themselves for acts of faith-based civil disobedience. Our early history even includes sisters who were executed for their acts of faith-based civil disobedience. The work of Ava DuVernay and her documentary 13th, and Michelle Alexander's research and book, The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness, shows us and has increased our awareness of the ways in which the prison system continues to promote and propagate a form of legalized slavery, and how it disproportionately targets people of color and those who have low income. These two works put into words the systemic sin of racism that our sisters serving in prisons, jails, detention centers, and halfway houses have long been seeing and hearing.
We have a system that is our carceral system, which is what we use to punish people or hold people accountable for poor behavior, wrong behavior, bad behavior, coerced behavior. And what that system does is create more harm.
At the 2011 Federation event, we gathered here in St. Louis and heard about the role that hotels play in enabling and uncovering human trafficking. At the 2016 Federation event in Orlando, we learned about labor trafficking, particularly as it is experienced within the agricultural and food industries. Today, we gather to discuss human trafficking and enslavement in the criminal legal system. We will learn about the scourges of pre-trial incarceration, inhumane jail conditions, and cash bail.
Prison gerrymandering, Anitri and I, we know this very, very often in terms of who's counted as part of a district. This totally skews where prisons and jails are able to take credit for a higher population than they actually have, because what they have are people who are enslaved in their prisons.
During the Justice Action Lead-Up webinar in May, we heard that the United States locks up more people per capita than any other country in the world. Every night, some 500,000 people who have not yet had a trial, much less been convicted of a crime for which they are charged, are held in local jails across the country. Those held for pre-trial detention might lose their jobs, experience separation from their families, and are more likely to plead guilty to crimes which they did not commit, even if it means going to prison.
Prison and jail are grueling on the soul. They are painful places of hurt and harm. And what we heard earlier is that pre-trial detention exacerbates that.
We saw recent data that showed that when Harris County, Texas, eliminated cash bail for most misdemeanors, there were fewer people in jail and no change in the crime rate. In fact, the percentage of misdemeanor defendants who failed to appear for their court date went down. In the early church, ransoming captives was considered a corporal work of mercy. There is an urgent need to ensure those who are in jail awaiting trial or sentencing are able to be free, where relationships and neighborhoods are restored. We are called to imagine a society free from the harms of the carceral system. Let us live out this call to radically transform community today.